Okay, so this is going to be a quick demonstration of the program. At the moment, all of the program is built into a single HTML page for different users. So here we have like farmer, the vet user, the customer user. So this can all be split up later, but for now it is just one. So there will be, this demo will include 3 different accounts. One account, it's over here, it's 0x1, so I'll call this account x1. The next account is x5, and it's represented by this window, and the next account is x2, represented by this window. Okay, so we will say that our first 2 accounts, x1, and x5, both of these 2 will be farmers, and then our final one will be a veterinarian, and we can assume that the vet that goes by the address 0x23a, etc., is a well-known vet whose word is accepted among the community. So here we have our 3 accounts, x1, x5, and x2, all starting off with a balance of 100 ether. Okay, so let us begin. So the RFID we are assuming is a string which is unique. Multiple animals will not have the same RFID. An RFID code cannot be reused. So let's say the RFID code for our first one is RF1, our first cow that we're introducing. And let's say that it is born at farm. What account are we on? This is the farm that belongs to X1. So I'll say that this cow was born on farm X1. So we remember that that's where it came from. So I'm going to say cow born, and I'm going to hit submit, and we wait for that transaction to confirm. Transaction confirmed. And now if we take that RFID code and go down to the customer section, this is also the section which allows any kind of tracking. I have some history will be available on the cow, such as the location history, that on exactly this time it was at this location, and it is currently owned by OX1. Say I wanted to move the cow, let's say farm number 5. I can hit move cow, submit the transaction, and go to the location history, and now we have a new location for where the farm is now, where the cow is now situated. Now, with regards to ownership, now the way this works is that the buyer and the seller will agree upon a price beforehand, and then so that way the seller can choose exactly who they want to buy the cow. They don't just put it up there for some price. The particular buyer address has to be specified. So let us say that this oak over here, X5, that he wants to buy the cow. So I'm just going to grab X5's address, and I'm going to paste that in the buyer address over here. We could use like a QR code to scan that in the actual application, and say that he wants to buy the cow. He agreed to buy it for 10 ether. So then as Mr. X1 over here, I can say sell cow. Okay, now I've submitted that sale request. And of course, all of these things, for example, the birth, the cow born, and the move cow born, the ID which is given has to be unique. It can't have been used before. When you're moving the cow, you have to be the current owner of the cow. When you're selling the cow, you have to be the current owner of the cow. So all of those things are protected on the contract itself with modifiers. So if I go over here, this is OX5, and I scroll down to the bottom of my farm section, I now have this new little window which does not normally exist over there, which is buy cow. It gives the cow ID RF1 for 10 ether. Now if I hit reject, it of course rejects it, but let's say I want to buy this cow. So I select buy, I now have 10 ether in this payment thing, and I submit that. That transaction has been confirmed. So let me jump back over to my original one over here and go down to my customer section. And if I go to the car ownership history, I can now see that the car now belongs to OX5 as of this exact date. I can also jump over here to my blockchain and see that OX1 is 10 ether richer and OX5 is 10 ether poorer. So the money has been transferred from the one account to the other through the smart contract. Okay. So that is sales. The next thing is inspection. Now, and these are inspections performed by the farmer themselves. To inspect this cow, we need to go over to the current owner of the cow because you can only inspect from the current owner. It's a right that only they have. So the food intake, say he ate 5 kilograms of grass, medication given, 3 grams of X, and the general health, nothing interesting. So these are all string values which can be entered into these fields. Submit, and I submit my inspection report for cow RF1. It's now been confirmed. If I go down to the customer section, RF1, and I go to the inspection history, okay, that's the vet inspection history, the owner inspection history, I now have a single entry over here with the food intake, medication given, and the general health. If I want to submit another one, 10 kilograms of grass. There's our next inspection. Okay, and the next one is for the vet. Now, the way the vet one works is a vet will go, so I'll jump over to my vet over here. We said this could be the vet. This vet person can inspect the cow. They also charge a fee for performing this inspection, and they will enter their value there. And then when they submit this inspection, the original farmer who owns the cow has to accept the inspection and pay the fee over. And once that is completed, then the inspection will be added to the vet inspection history over here. So this is the person, Mr. OX2, who we said is a veterinarian, so he could have his website or whatever saying, this is my address that represents what I say. So let's say that the vet inspected the cow RF1. It had average body condition. Its size was 54 kilograms. That's a string value. General health is a funny. It's here, and the inspection price. Okay, so let's say that he's charged 2 ether. So this vet will charge the the cow. This vet will charge the owner, which RF1 currently belongs to 2 ether for performing this inspection. So I hit submit inspection and submit. Waiting for the transaction to confirm. Okay, so now jumping over to our first one. This person does not own this cow, so he does not have any notification over here. But the owner of the cow now has a notification under his farmer section saying, accept inspection for RF1, the cow name from vet, and then it gives OX2, the vet address, and the ether cost. So he accepts, and the money is paid over. That's now been confirmed. I can select the vet inspection history, and here we have the values given. And so any person can just take this RFID and they can immediately see the location history, where it was moved, the ownership history, who currently owns it, the owner inspection history, the inspection which the owners have performed, and the vet inspection history, which importantly includes the vet's public ether address, which is associated with a particular veterinarian organization. So that way it can be verified. We know for a fact these values over here, everything entered here comes from this vet's address. And that is it.